Well, it's great to be in the metropolitan New York area for this game. I think our team's very excited about the opportunity to play at Red Bull Arena against Costa Rica. As you know, it's a very important game for our team. We've worked real hard to position ourselves to be in a position to qualify for the 2018 World Cup, and in order to do that, we have to have a successful set of games here in September. So naturally, the game on Friday against Costa Rica is going to be very important if we hope to be in Russia in 2018.
Hey, Bruce, welcome home. Michael. I understand how important this game is, and not to take anything away from that. There are 5 players on the team that are from Texas. A couple live in Houston now. How do you guys, Michael as captain and Bruce as coach, how do you guys deal with that? Because it's kind of a life or death situation with those guys and their families, being away from their families.
Well, certainly we feel for the people in Texas. This is a terrible event. I've heard DeMarcus speak of it. I haven't yet had the chance to talk with Clint. Hopefully his family's safe. I know they're in East Texas. And, I know it's a tough week for them. I know for DeMarcus in particular, it's been very challenging for him personally and for his friends and family types in the Houston area. It's difficult, and all we can do is hope that the conditions improve in the Houston area and that everyone is safe.
Bruce, this is a question about Christian. You've had players that you've coached over the years who've been young players and stepped into leadership roles. Landon Donovan in 2002, even Claudio Reyna when he was in college with you at Virginia. How does Christian's growth into a leadership role compare to other young players who you've seen mature like this?
Well, first of all, Christian's even a little bit younger than the ones you've mentioned. At that time in their career, Christian's a little bit more accelerated in his professional career than they were. I think at this point, Christian has much better support than perhaps Landon had at his time and Claudio, because he's got a very experienced group of players that really are our leaders, such as Michael and Tim Howard and Brad Guzan and DeMarcus Beasley and those. So it takes a little bit away from the pressures on Christian to be a leader in our program as well. Right now, he's a very gifted player that we're allowing him the room to grow, both as a player and a person. So he doesn't have that much responsibility in that regard, but simply because of the fact he's such an outstanding player, there's some responsibilities both on and off the field that he has to assume, and he's done that. But I'm thankful we have such great leaders, like I mentioned, that take some of that pressure off of Christian.
Costa Rica played a Gold Cup group stage game in Red Bull Arena. Do you think that they gained any advantage in playing that game so close to this one? And how do you think you're going to react to that?
Well, hopefully not, is my answer to your question. We're playing at home, and I don't care what anyone says. We have a home field advantage. The U.S. team over the years has gathered a terrific fan base, and my experiences in the short time I've been here back with the U.S. team is that we have great support, and I really believe that we'll have great support on Friday, and hopefully the fact that Costa Rica played here in the Gold Cup is not going to be a factor.
What are your thoughts on the defense right now? Brooks is out, Yedlin's out, Villafaña's not playing at Santos. So what are your thoughts going into this game, into these qualifiers, about the back line overall, and are you confident? Is that a concern?
Yeah. Well, Villafaña is playing at Santos, to correct you there. Injuries are part of the game. You never like to see it, but we've been through a number of games this year with a number of players missing, either in the back line or elsewhere. When we started in March against Honduras, we were missing a large contingent of experienced players, and yet we survived. So I anticipate this time around, despite the fact that we're going to be missing some good players, our back line will be fine. We've had a lot of experience together in 2017, and I think whatever players we choose to play on Friday will step up and get the job done.
And for you, Coach, with the striking options that you have, with Bobby Wood scoring, with Josie having a solid season, and with how Christian's going, do you feel the attacking options that you have are now on the level of how great the 2002 World Cup roster that you had back in the day? And if any one of those guys would sport a mohawk like Clint Mathis did back in the day? Yes.
Well, with regard to our strikers, 2002 is a long time ago. I guess we had Brian McBride and Clint Mathis, two outstanding players. The goal that Clint scored against South Korea was one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. But I like our strikers here, the combination of Altidore and Wood and Dempsey and Morris and Wondolowski. It gives us a lot of options. They're very good players, and I think the one thing that's gives me so much optimism is the fact that they're all in very good form right now. And then whoever we choose over these next couple of games are going to be dangerous. So I'm real comfortable with the group of strikers we have here.
Bruce, you mentioned the growing fan support, but this is the first game qualifying in the New York area for the U.S. side. Why do you think you guys feel comfortable now doing this, and do you envision more games, more qualifiers being played around here?
Well, I can't speak for the second part of your question. I don't plan a whole lot of qualifiers, and that's U.S. Soccer's job. No, certainly, I'd give them input, and I'm not sure I'm going to be part of too many qualifiers down the road. So this time around, I'm happy to be here. I just think we have a great fan base in our country now. It supports the national team wherever we are. I've seen it in the last couple of qualifiers, and I anticipate Friday we're going to have a great crowd, and it doesn't concern me in the least.